Good morning, good day. This is your girl, Dr. Tay, here with another morning message. So, in a previous post, I shared my summer survival kit, and one of the items on there was this book called The Buddha and the Badass. And it's an interesting book. I'm really enjoying it. I would describe it as a book that's designed for spiritual entrepreneurs. So, if you feel like that describes you, I highly recommend it. But I recently finished, I think, chapter 5. And it was the chapter on transformation and personal growth and how that's important to bring into the work environment. And that's something that I've strongly believed even before reading this book. And so in many ways it was very affirming to be like, oh, okay, yeah, there are other people who think this way. Like, I was the type of person who, when I did have a traditional job, I was always going to conferences. Like, at least once a year I would, try to go and take advantage of some kind of professional opportunity. Unlike my colleagues who just kind of saw it as annoying, like many of them would complain about having to travel, and I'm like, what? Like, one, you get to go somewhere different, exciting, than your normal routine, and you get to learn some cool stuff and connect with people. But I also recognize, I'm a little bit more of an extrovert than some. To some it may be a little bit more of a hassle than an opportunity. But nonetheless, I always sought out those opportunities because I saw the value in just continuing to grow, continuing to stay abreast of what was happening in my field, taking advantage of different things that would help me in my personal development as well. Particularly around, leadership and time management and things like that. But one of the things that I took away from that chapter was this idea that, many people resist transformation. Many people resist personal growth. And to me, that's just so foreign because I've always been the type of person to seek that out. And the only thing that I could think of is that I'm very open to changing myself. I'm very open to different versions of myself, upgrading, up-leveling, whatever you may call it. I never feel like, this is the end-all be-all. There's still so much more to learn and grow. And I think that there are some people who resist that because they feel that they are right where they need to be, that they have all the information that they need. And I think as a result, they may hold on to certain identities that no longer serve them. So, for example, I think about, the identity I had as a college administrator. Yes, I could have, stayed in that particular role and continue to help my students, but it was through personal development work and expanding my horizons that I realized there's a little bit more to life than being in this traditional kind of work setting. And so for me, personal growth kind of pushed me into a new identity where now I'm an entrepreneur and I'm learning a whole new skill set that I've never used before, but still using the things that I've learned previously to help me navigate this new territory. And I think that sometimes that there's a fear that people have to make that transition to step outside of the box because they don't want to necessarily lose a particular identity, which is totally okay. But I also think about, what are you missing out on by doing that too? Like, if you hold on to this identity, like, I'm this and I'm always this way, or I handle things, in this particular order, what are you losing out on by holding so tightly onto that identity? So I don't know, that was just kind of something that came to my mind. I would certainly invite your thoughts in terms of, if you are one of those people who kind of resists that change and transition, I definitely would love to hear your perspective. Because I genuinely want to learn and understand, why people stay stuck to certain identities, especially if it's an identity that no longer serves them. So I hope that you enjoy this message, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you.